This is my HugelKulture bed. I've started taking weeds and stuff off of it. This one I started maybe 3 years ago, but this past year I let it set and it grew a lot of weeds. But if you watch my other videos, you'd see that, or you would hear me describe, how this bed started. It was 80 to 90% sticks. And you can see some of the wood, the bigger pieces that I used around the edge, had decomposed. That right there, is one of those pieces of wood that I had around the edge. But all of this on the inside here, every bit of this, except for the rock, of course, every bit of that was sticks. Of course, there's still some sticks in there. See that? That was just a bigger one that hadn't decomposed quite yet. But all this dirt, all of that was sticks. You dig down in there, and it just feels so good. You can feel pieces and parts. Oh, there's a root. This is why I've got to dig this, because that's a root from, I think that's from one of those, what do they call that? Johnson grass. That stuff will go everywhere in your gardens. Throw that away. But this right here, that right there lives in here and it just loves it. These are just regular old worms from the gardens. And those worms help break down all the different wood pieces. There's some bark from one of them I had in here. Oh, look at that. See? It's just crumbling in my hand. That's wood pieces. Look at that. Just wood pieces crumbling in the hand. That's what I like. I like it when it just crumbles in the hand. See, there's more of that Johnson grass. I gotta get that stuff. See, I gotta dig all this by hand. So I'm not really disturbing it. I am disturbing the soil, but I have to because I got to get all those roots out. So look at that. I don't want no more Johnson grass in my garden. But also you can see sticks. Parts and pieces of sticks that haven't decomposed. But this is the wonders of HugelKultures. Every bit of this. I mean, it's just loose, good dirt. All of that was sticks. It's decomposed out here. Look at that. There's a snow. But if anybody asks if I recommend doing HugelKulture, I would say the first year is going to be disappointing, but the next few years you're going to have some good dirt, really good dirt. But periodically you have to come in here and dig out the roots, because weeds take over and because they love it in here. Look at that Johnson grass roots right there. I hate that stuff. So I got to dig this bed, get all that out of here, because I don't want to be competing. I don't want my vegetables to be competing with that other stuff, that other weeds or grass or whatever. But they're growing in here because they love it. Look at that decomposing wood. Okay, so over the next day or so, look at that worm. over the next day or so, I'm going to be out here digging in this and getting out all these roots, making a nice good bed for growing, and see if I can get something planted in here. I don't know what that is. It's a piece of metal. Throw that away. All right. Oh, I guess it's a good update on my little HugelKulture bed here. But yeah, that was 90% sticks, all sizes of sticks, broken up into little tiny pieces. And you don't see those tiny ones anymore. You see the bigger ones. All the little tiny ones have decomposed and turned into good dirt. And all these worms in here, these worms just love it. Those worms, you dig in here and you got tons of worms, and you got, those things are mushrooms. Disturb the mushrooms. And but I got all kinds of stuff in here. I gotta clean this out, so I'll be taking the fork and kind of loosening it up. I'm gonna dig probably maybe 1.5 feet down, loosen all that up and get all those roots out. And then the bed right next to it, it's kind of hard to see it when I'm standing up, but now you can tell. There's the HugelKulture bed, and then back there is another raised bed that I had. I'll be doing the same thing to that. I'm gonna be loosening that up and digging everything out by the roots. And then I'll get these planted. Two totally different types of raised beds. Let me go show you my compost real quick. Hey, Max, what are you doing? Huh? Max thought I was talking to him. Come say hi. Did you come say hi? Huh? Where? So, been vacuuming this up with the lawnmower. I'm going to show you that compost pile back there. Because this compost pile is growing. I told you in one of my other videos how I'm layering big pieces with little pieces. Let me get down here so you can see. So you can see how it leaves air pockets in there. Leaving air pockets in there is pretty good. That means oxygen will get in, and of course bugs and critters and other odds and ends will get in there too. But layer it like that. Oh, there's some birds. And it'll hold in the moisture. And anyway, it ends up breaking down pretty good. So that's a good size compost. Those were cut from that pecan tree. And I've got a few more of those in there that are decomposed so much they're like a sponge. But it's growing. Compost will grow because you add to it, but they shrink because they decompose. So as you see my videos, and I'll talk about my compost, you'll see that, you know, it grows, and right now it's going through a growing phase because I'm adding things to it. And but you know, when I ignore it and just leave it sit here, and it slowly falls apart and decomposes and everything, and it'll eventually turn into dirt again. And after I've got it all turned back to dirt, then I'll be using it in the gardens. But this is not for this year. When you're doing compost, it's never for the year that you're gardening. It's for the next year and the next year, right? Because the more you build your compost, right, and it decomposes and everything, you start later on. I'll start taking it off the top and moving it over. So I'll move it over into there, and what's on top and on the outside will end up being all on the inside, and what's on the inside and on the bottom will end up being on top. But that'll be a while. I'm kind of worn out from just trying to get gardens in. But I'll end up putting it down here where that where that tree snapped off, and composting around the stump. And I'm gonna have to cut some of these new shoots down because I don't want the tree to come back. I want this to just die. You know, I don't want the tree here anymore. But yeah, I'm gonna have to get this thing gone. Those are pretty heavy. But I don't think I'm gonna move them today at all, but I will get them moved though. All right, I guess that's a good update on my my compost and my tree removal and my garden. Oh yeah, my Hugel. I'm gonna name that garden Hugel. HugelKulture. Okay, just that one garden spot, of course. All right, well, I'll turn this around. I think I broke a fingernail. I'm gonna probably go in and eat dinner and make that a day of it. I do have maybe another hour or hour and a half of daylight, but I've been out here for so long, and everything, all I've eaten today was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a cup of coffee. Well, 3 cups of coffee and some water. But I think I've already worked all that off. I've definitely worked off more than what I ate. And I think these birds out here have eaten more than I have. But I'll be back out here tomorrow morning, bright and early. Pick up a bunch of rocks and get those out of this spot too. And do some more mowing, do some more cleaning up, get some weeds up by the roots, and start working on some garden spots. Talk to you later. All right, another view of my Hugels. Hey Hugel, how you doing? All right, tomorrow's going to be a definitely good deep cleanup on that one, and a good deep cleanup on this one. Max likes getting dirt bathed